2, 1, 0. All engine running.
From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
I am here to discuss the so-called flying saucer. The Air Force interest in this problem has been due to our feeling of an obligation to identify and analyze to the best of our ability anything in the air that may have the possibility of threat.
Just before 9 o'clock this morning in New York, a passenger jet which had taken off from Boston slammed into the World Trade Center. Thick black smoke blotted out the Manhattan skyline.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
All right, I think we can go ahead and get started then, ladies and gentlemen. We are the Esoteric Roundtable Podcast, and we are your hosts. My name is Justin, and I'm joined here by my good friend Ben, and my brother Jim.
Yeah.
And today, I actually am the person who have the topics. I tried to pass it off to one of you two, but it's me who has the handlebars this time, boys. And today we're going to be talking about a couple things, one of them being Mandela Effects. As you could tell by Mona Lisa here and her pretty big smile, that's one of the main ones that I kind of focus on and I think about when I think of Mandela Effects. Now, when you guys were growing up and you were learning about art and you were learning about things like the Mona Lisa, was it explained to you that she had a like expressionless face? It was hard to pick up exactly how she was feeling, right? By the way she was, you know, it was, that was kind of like the whole thing. That was kind of like what it was supposed to portray. It was like you can't really tell exactly what she was feeling. And now, if you look at the Mona Lisa, she's just like obviously smiling. You know what I'm saying? This picture is just an AI generated. This isn't, obviously, I'm not trying to pass this like, look at this factual picture of Mona Lisa or anything. But here, let me pull one up here. And I know you guys won't be able to see this, and I'm sorry about that. So you guys can look it up on your own. But I mean, look at this. That is an obvious smile, right? Like she is very obviously smiling. And
I remember
the veil, you know, I guess I see it now. I was thinking the veil was a lot less visible these days than I feel like it used to be. But at least in this picture I'm looking at now, you can see it pretty good. But the smile for sure. What do you guys think?
I know I was always taught that she was smiling. Well, not really taught. In my art class that I had in high school, we went over Da Vinci stuff and everything, and really the way it was explained is like that she was smiling, but nobody really knows if it was like a fake smile, because it does look kind of like a fake smile, like I don't want to be here kind of smile.
Yeah, I see that.
And that's kind of how I view it. It's like
when
a
you
fake smile.
Yeah, you like tell somebody to smile for a picture, like they're like uncomfortable almost, like,
or like it's disingenuous. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not genuine.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
And my boy Wayne, you know, Lil Wayne even has a song about it. And it's about, you know, a fake smile and putting on a front for ulterior motives. Now, do I think the woman and
I'm not gonna lie, Ben, you really threw me off guard, not only knowing that song, but like explaining the deeper under narrative like that. That was a crazy reference for you. I'm just, you know, I'm stoked for you. That goes hard. What do you think, Jim? What do you think about the Mona Lisa's smile? Because Ben here is pretty much just saying that I'm wrong. Not in a bad way. That's kind of what I was hoping for. I wanted your opinion because I felt like it was this way, but maybe I'm just giving into the hype, you know what I'm saying?
I think that's part of the Mandela effect. Sometimes I think it kind of makes you overthink things until you kind of see things differently. In this case, if you were asked me to draw, say, the Mona Lisa, two of the main things I would focus on is no eyebrows and an expressionless face. So, I mean, I obviously thought the same thing as you, that it was expressionless, but then I just pulled up the image and I'm like, yeah, that's how I remember it. So I'm kind of caught in the middle there because she does kind of look like she's smiling, but It's exactly how you
And
remember it as
one
well.
thing that I do want to bring up, a lot of people say that Da Vinci drew it in a specific way, and there's a word, and I don't remember the word, so I apologize, but he drew it in a specific way to where you kind of you pick it up based on not only the context of how you're looking at it or where you're standing or how the lighting, but also your mood, how your mood changes, and that it's what you pick up more is what I've heard, and that could just be some pinky up art nerd, just making shit up, but it could be something like that, and maybe I'm just so happy all the time, so that's why. And look at this picture of Mona Lisa with biceps. She looks super ripped. I'm sorry if I get like banned from everything for showing this person's art. But anyways, I'll go back to the original. So he can't sue me, he's long gone.
I
But,
will say,
oh,
I will say there was a few things I remember distinctively in art class. I don't remember if it was in college. I think I took art appreciation in college. I don't really remember. It's been years. But art class that I took, they even talked about a theory that Mona Lisa was not a woman. It was actually a man dressed as a woman and painted.
Da
And that was
Vinci.
even also because they said that, like really, if you look at the painting, Mona Lisa, I call her Mona. Mona has some features that aren't really striking of like, what a female would be.
Not very
That was a theory they had in
feminine.
art. And that's kind of what they talked about. I remember them talking about that it was a theory that what if this wasn't even a woman, it was a man, and
Yeah,
that's kind of why
I
they look
think
so
I
conspicuous.
scrolled past something similar to that, but it wasn't just a random person, that it was Da Vinci and sort of
Yeah.
drag, I guess, is what they
So in a lot of
saying.
ways, I think I remember them saying it could have been a self-portrait.
I
but
mean, the no eyebrows thing is kind of a drag thing, I mean, I don't know if it drag was back then, but
no way to prove it because this thing was painted years ago.
yeah,
on a
absolutely.
pine
And I
sheet,
think
but
that's a big
yeah,
thing about the Mandela effects and just
yeah.
past in general, honestly, is there's really no way to 100% prove any of this stuff in the past, but
And
yeah.
a lot of times that I think of the Mona Lisa too, man, like my first thing I always think of, and this is what we taught in art class, like the background and how he plays into the like the winding road pointing toward the focus of the painting being Mona, not even the fact that she's just front and center, and other details like the background was one of the most detailed and depth of field backgrounds that you can see in a painting. So I always think of that when I think of the Mona Lisa. I know that's most
Well,
people don't.
I've seen somebody saying that when they think of the Mona Lisa, they don't even think of the I guess her name is Mona herself, and I thought that was like super pretentious. But now that you explain it that way, I understand what you mean. There is a lot of detail. I don't think I've ever noticed. If you would have told me that it was a blank background, I probably would have believed you. And looking at least this little clipped picture that I'm looking at here. Here we can look at, say, like this. It's just a redrawing of it or something like that. It's pretty bad, but probably bad. But anyways, yeah, there's definitely a lot back there to look at and take in. So I see that for sure. Now, the Mona Lisa one. So I think we can go ahead and say that that's not really Mandela effect then, or not at least something that was changed. Maybe that's just something that really was just overhyped on the internet. So I want to take you guys something that I believe is super real, and I will die on this hill. I will stand on this hill until the last arrow strikes me down. And it is Fruit of the Loom and their damn cornucopia, man. All right? They have one.
I think they had one too.
This Reddit post that I found, I'm going to be going pretty heavily off of it, and it's by Jingles Bo Bingles. I want to give them all the credit here because they did a lot of work, and I really appreciate it. And I've gathered some other stuff, and I was going to use it, but honestly, this just really covers it better than anywhere else. So I'll just credit here Jingles Bo Bingles one more time because I want to use a lot of the stuff that they linked here. But anyways, Fruit of the Loom and their cornucopia. Do you guys remember Fruit of the Loom having a cornucopia?
I do. I remember it.
Very clearly, yes, I do.
There is a TikTok going around about this chick, and she's like, I learned what a cornucopia was because I asked my parents what this thing was on the Fruit of the Loom logo, and that is exactly, I have a very specific memory of walking around Walmart with me and Jim's dad, seeing the Fruit of the Loom thing, asking what this thing was, and him being like, oh, got a basket, corn stuff, and then when we got home, I had to ask my Aunt Wanda, and it was a cornucopia. That's what she called it, a horn of plenty. Now, the thing is, Fruit of the Loom is like, no, that's not us. All right, we don't have that. I guess I should look up their current Fruit of the Loom. Their current, and there's the artist rendition with the cornucopia, but here's their current one. There is no cornucopia in it, and they're like, no, we never had the cornucopia, in which, they're fucking lying. Okay, they're fucking lying. I'm calling them out. And then, I don't know. Also, I guess we can get into this later, the theories of why I think this is happening. This one, though, I will say I think is less of like CERN fucking the world up, and I think this could just be like a marketing thing, something of that nature. But get back to our Reddit post here. Here is oh, you guys aren't going to be able to see this. You're not going to be able to see what I'm showing, huh? That is so disappointing. That's all right. I'll just have to explain it. I'll have to explain it well. At least for our audio listeners, I'll have to do good explaining anyway, so that's a good point. So let's look at this canceled TM filed by company mentioning the cornucopia. Now, this is a trademark, and it is on Trademarkia, and it says dead, canceled, section 18. It is from the 28th of November, 1988. For Fruit of the Loom, and now I will say the logo in this still doesn't have the cornucopia, which is true. Until we scroll down, and they have, like, on this code they have berries, on this one they have grapes alone or in bunches, and then they have apples, and then the next line is where it says baskets, bowls, and other containers of fruit, including cornucopia, parentheses, horn of plenty. So they had the trademark, at least at one point, with the cornucopia, right? So does that mean it was always there? Yes, it was always fucking there, but no, whatever. Let's look at some other stuff, though, all right? Have you guys ever heard of the movie The Ant Bully? I believe it was like a Disney movie. It was an animated movie, There was a part...
I've never heard of it. Oh, Ant
where,
Bully. Yes, I have.
Yeah, the Ant Bully, right. There's a part where a shrinking scene where it goes down. And, God, I wish I could show this to you guys. Man, I'm so disappointed. Maybe I can put this in our Discord super quick.
Yeah.
So now we're back. So you guys have the source information now. I went ahead and sent that over. Are you guys looking at the Ant Bully shrinking scene picture? Can you guys pull that up and tell me what you see?
Let's see. I do see it. I see the Fruit of the Loom logo for the Ant Bully.
Right, and now it does say something of the loin, so it is doing a knockoff, but the cornucopia is still there. Now, I guess if they're going to be doing a knockoff, the cornucopia would be a good thing to throw to the additional, like, don't sue me, But the idea of the cornucopia is another proof of such. Here, let me close this one. It keeps going back. Right. So, another one I thought was interesting was number 7, newspaper article. I thought this one was pretty interesting.
Hey, real quick.
Yep.
Can we visit on the cornucopia a little bit longer? So,
this is still the cornucopia, absolutely.
I thought you were moving on to another one.
No, yeah, absolutely. No, this is number
so
7.
For me, man. Ooh, my bad.
No, man, go ahead. Absolutely, please.
No, for me, dude, like, I've always thought it had a cornucopia. The older I get, the more I'm like, I don't really know if they did, because in my household, at least, and a lot of other households, we always had a big platter that had a cornucopia on it. And I sent you a picture of what I'm talking about. It's not exact to what ours looked like.
Oh, yeah.
But we had a big Thanksgiving platter that had a cornucopia with fruit coming out of it.
Right.
And so I think in my mind, if it never existed, say if it did never exist, that I've always correlated that cornucopia with the
Right.
fruit
And
coming out of it as Fruit of the Loom.
that is the big theory. Now, the cornucopia, it's symbolized plenty of a
Yeah.
good harvest, things like that. I mean, it's for a long time. They used it, the settlers, when we had our meals with the Indians, it was the cornucopia to symbolize how much food they gave us before we fucked them hard. So yeah, that could be it,
Yeah.
But I don't think so.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'll remember.
No,
them
but I
having a
definitely
cornucopia
see,
too.
and I definitely see that too. And here's another one, number 6, the Frank West album. This one I just thought it was interesting. It's just Flute of the Loom, excuse me. It's a flute player, their album, and it's like vegetables, and the flute is portraying a cornucopia. And again, these are all things that are just portraying the brand. It's not from the brand itself, but the brand itself is fucking lying to us, so we have to go to things that are portraying the brand,
Yeah.
But that one is like, I cannot accept that there was no cornucopia. You know what I'm saying? Like the Mona Lisa thing, I think my mind has kind of changed. I think you guys kind of knocked me off the woo-woo on that one. Brought me down to earth on that, because looking at it now, I do kind of see what you mean. It's still questionable, her expression, absolutely. There's no question about the cornucopia, Now, another one here is, I unfortunately don't have anything pulled up for this one, but Ben had interesting something to say about it. I mixed that sentence up nice and good, so good luck figuring that one out. But Shazam versus Kazam. A lot of people remember a movie with Sinbad from the 90s, and he was a genie, and that was Shazam, right? That was Shazam, and then the one with Shaq was Kazam, which is the one that is in our current timeline, in our current reality. If you look it up now, it is Shaq, and it is the movie Kazam. I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember either of these fucking movies, so it's just something that people are really like hell-bent on, that there was a movie with Sinbad and then it got replaced with a movie with Shaq. And I've seen theories like Sinbad hated the press that he got from it, and it was kind of messing with his comedy image that he was trying to portray. But at the same time, how powerful do you think this fucking guy is,
Yeah.
So what do you think, Jim? Are you pulling something up on it, or are you just...
Yeah, I am, because I'm trying to figure out if they're saying it's real or not, because I thought I specifically remembered it.
That's a good thing, because Ben had a pretty interesting thing earlier when we talked about this off air. So what do you got to say, Ben?
So I remember watching this movie as a kid on VHS at my aunt's house, at my house. I watched it several times.
The one with Sinbad, correct? Is that what you're referencing?
The one with Sinbad as the genie, Shazam.
Absolutely, Shazam.
The movie does exist. It did exist and always has existed. They tried for so long to say that it never existed. IMDb released an article showing that it did exist. It even listed the directors, Royce Atkin and Ryan Anthony Martin. It listed the writers as Royce Atkins. Sinbad was also a fellow artist. Just look up Shazam with 2 A's, Sinbad movie.
IMDb. We found it, they said. Let's
So,
go, dude.
They said for so long that movie didn't exist. It even says that Sinbad was part of the writing. It took part in the writing of the movie.
He's right there.
Mike Trapp, but it definitely existed. I know
The
it was
writers
a low
are
budget
Royce
film.
Adkins, Sinbad, and Mike Trapp. And
Yeah.
the stars are Bradley Bundley, Jolie Ledford, and Sinbad.
Yep.
He's right in the name of the stars. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and I remember this vividly. I was like, there's no way this movie did not exist, because I've watched it. Sinbad was shooting little electrical charges from his little hands, the genie. It existed. I remember it clear as
Okay.
day. I don't remember what the movie was really about all the way, but I remember watching that movie with Sinbad in it. So I was really relieved when I found that it did in fact exist. And I even saw a video. I don't have it available, but there was a clip where somebody had the physical VCR of the movie itself and recorded it and posted it to one of these subreddits where people were saying it doesn't exist. Or really, I have a physical copy right here. And then they played a clip of it on their CRTV of Sinbad playing the genie.
Hmm.
So thankfully, that's one that has been debunked. It did exist, and everyone else can, eat dirt and
They can eat dirt, man.
find
Now,
out
I
I'm
want to
wrong.
go. This was another topic that I want to. Oh, here's the cornucopia of job cuts article I was going to bring up earlier. I just thought that was interesting. A newspaper article about the Fruit of the Loom. It said cornucopia of job cuts. Fruit of the Loom Inc. said it would slash its U.S. workforce by 12%. Anyways, I don't need to read the whole article, but they bring up the cornucopia again. So, another theory I saw about the Mona Lisa painting kind of struck me. It kind of made sense. Is that maybe over time, as they were possibly restoring this, they were maybe accidentally amplifying the smile a little bit more, and that still could be possible. But like we said on the Mona Lisa thing, we've kind of settled that. But what it brought me looking into is a lot of cases of really bad restoring jobs of like priceless paintings. And I don't know why you would lie about something. Like if you're like painting a house and you lie about that and like, yeah, I've done a million houses, so be it, man. They can bring someone to repaint this fucking house. But why choose like a Michelangelo painting or something? You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if Michelangelo was a painter. That's just somebody I've heard from the past. But anyways, let's go take a look at some of these. All right. And we'll look at this Jesus one, man. This one, God, and again, here's a bunch more stuff you can't look at. I really like that. If you guys want to look up elderly woman ruins 19th century, or just look up monkey Jesus, people really refer to it as that. It's pretty rough, man. It's a picture of a painting, I should say, of Jesus painted onto a scroll, a painting of a painting, And so they sent it to be restored, and I can't even explain this fully to the audio viewers. This thing is, it looks like a stuffed animal of sorts. Maybe a lion, maybe a monkey. They're calling it Monkey Jesus. Ben, I apologize. I know that's your boy.
Yeah,
I know
this is
that's your
funny,
boy.
bro.
The whole JC, that's your man and all. But I'm not sure what's going on with that. I'm not sure. That almost seems intentional,
Like they just ruined it.
Yeah, there's a whole story here, and it's probably bullshit anyways. And it says it was an elderly woman, so maybe that was the issue,
I do
But
see an
still.
article where the woman who restored it said they didn't let me finish. I don't know how you're gonna bring it back from what you did
Oh,
to it.
okay, so that's what it was. She was gonna bring it back, dude. There's no way to.
You restored it from
There's no way
Jesus,
to tell you,
made it look like a
audio
monkey.
listeners, how extremely bad this is. If you only listen on audio, you're gonna have to either look up this article, just look up Monkey Jesus, or just check us out on YouTube, because this is insane.
It didn't let me finish. You made it.
Yeah,
I don't know how you bring that back.
check out the Virgin Mary painting that was destroyed, if you guys will look that up real fast, because man, they sent it in to get restored and it came back ridiculous. So they were like, okay, fix it. They sent it to the same fucking person to fix it, and it came back worse, obviously.
The same one that did Monkey Jesus?
No, they sent it to the same person that fucked it up originally, though.
Oh.
The same person. This is just like God, that is such like really beautiful painting too. The original one, like you see the blush on their face,
Yeah,
the shadows on the chin, and It's just really like really insanely well done. What a like priceless art, you know? And
Yeah.
what the fuck did they send back? That like how can you
It looks like a Snapchat filter.
dude, it looks like
Like you face
something
swapped.
like a, 8-year-old girl would be drawing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
bringing home from school. Like, look what I did. It's
I would
pretty
be
insane.
proud to draw something half as good as the second one. Okay. Like,
You think so, dude? Yeah. No, I
yeah,
mean,
dude.
hey, I mean, maybe as like an abstract painting, you know? So another one is
that mug to
this
Picasso.
guy, this original. Let's see. I forgot what his name was. Oh, here's another close up on Monkey Jesus here. Oh, what's his name? Saint George. And now, honestly, Saint George, he's just like a bronze statue riding on a horse. It didn't look that bad. You could definitely see the paint chipping a little bit. So I can see that maybe send him in, get that little bit of paint, maybe on his chest right here for our video watchers and things like that. And the chest piece is red and it's missing a little bit of paint. So scroll down here and we see the restoration, man. And it's just, I'm sorry, dude. It's so, his face, I don't even know what to say about it, man. He looks like he's off, like, someone you would encounter in Seattle on the sidewalk.
He looks scared,
like,
man.
He looks like high on something. Like, it looks like if you were to like tap him on the forehead, he would not notice. His eyes aren't level or the same size or going in the same direction. His mouth is hanging open. Also, I don't think he was supposed to be that detailed in color as well. I don't think he needed to do all that. I just thought he'd look. Yeah, they call him they compare him to the cartoon character Tintin. I don't know who the fuck that is, but he definitely looks like a cartoon character for sure. Oh, and this one, and the Virgin Mary statue in Poland is definitely the worst one. If you guys can, I don't know if you'll even be able to find that one. This is a Scottish Sun article. This one is, there's no explanation for this one at all. Like, I can't even see the original sculpture looking good, to be honest. The way it's shaped and shit looks nothing like a human being. So who knows about that one, but yeah. I just thought it was
blue dress.
Yeah, the blue dress
Yeah.
and the all completely white face and the hammer chin and the I mean, maybe. I just thought it was interesting that people like choose to ruin like priceless pieces of art and shit as opposed to like what a thing to lie about, like if you're gonna lie about like I said, painting a house or a portrait, say you've only painted a few portraits or something, or I just broke the thing off my pen, that sucks, but anything other than like fucking hundreds of years old art, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
why restore it?
That almost feels like intentional, right? Like,
yeah, it's like we're gonna restore this Bob Ross, back to its original glory.
I mean, yeah, Bob Ross, but in like 300 years, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
like, it's just.
I mean, I know they've done restoration on like the Sistine Chapel and things but they have professionals.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not really restoring it. They're just
I was reading in one of these articles, and it was they were pointing out how it's kind of ironic to say this, but it kind of shows the importance of restoration and training people correctly to do these things, because this art, if we want to pass it on to the next generation, and hopefully the generations after, this is going to have to be something we nip in a fucking bud, because they're obviously just ruining shit. We're going to have to start training people in the classic arts correctly. And I saw something recently where I believe it was Spain, and I apologize if I'm wrong, but this nice cathedral, beautiful, they have like you throw quarters in or coins, maybe not even, obviously not quarters in Spain, but you throw coins in to turn the lights on. And people were like, oh, this is just the church taking more money and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, there's arguments for that, whatever. But people were talking about how much direct light can affect art and old paint and things like that, and it can dry it and make it flake or make it light, you know, and it can ruin things. So just everything in the environment is ruining this old art and just the old world, you know. And I guess it's a good representation of how the old world is really slipping through our fingers. And you know, and I don't, it was probably, yeah, it was last episode, so it would have been earlier in the week. Jim was talking about NPC people, and I'm not too sure, but, or no, excuse me, it was people doing NPC characters on TikTok and stuff. And, you know, is the NPC TikTok generation gonna learn how to restore beautiful works of art like this? You know what I'm saying? And I can't say too much about myself. I was a PewDiePie YouTube generation. Is the PewDiePie YouTube generation going to learn how to restore priceless works of art like this? So I think that's something we need to take from this, that like we should probably start thinking more, if we want to pass on to the next generation of things, we should stop worrying so much about what's going on. And if the fucking aliens are going to land tomorrow, and maybe we should take a little break and take a breather, think about what we have and appreciate it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Dude, so I do want to point out 2 additional, maybe 3 additional Mandela effects that
Oh, please.
that I found interesting. Do you remember back in grade school, man, they used to, at least at Poplarville, where I went to school at, and like kindergarten and stuff, we read the books called the Berenstain Bears.
Oh, of course, yes.
And it was
yes.
like the bears. There is a Mandela effect that's saying it's not Berenstain Bears, it's Berenstain Bears.
The Berenstain Bears, right? Yeah, dude, and that one is really weird, man. My wife was very sold on that one. She is very sold on that one. I've heard people going so far as like, oh, they're trying to hide the Jewish Steen, and they wanted Stein and or Stain, and that sounds more German, and it's just racist. And
I wish I could go to the library.
Of course, everything turns into a racist discussion at some point, but that is just some topic that I heard on that. There's a lot really weird about that. I never really watched too much of either. I watched a lot of Franklin, so until they start calling him Franklin, they start calling him Franklin, then I'm flipping this fucking world over. But for now,
I remember the Berenstain Bears, you know?
Right. Yeah, and my wife is very sold on that. My wife is super sold that it was.
I'm tempted, you know, because my wife works at my old elementary school that I went to. Like, hey, go to the library. If those books are not all brand new, find me a Berenstain Bears book and take a picture, because I gotta settle this in my mind.
No. It's like they're all just happen to be brand new. The only books in the library that are perfectly untouched, unscratched,
pristine. Yeah, next it'll be the Junie B. Jones books.
Yeah, they call it like Juby C. Jones.
Man, another one too, man. Okay, thinking right now without seeing it, does the Monopoly Man have a monocle that he wears on his eye?
I don't remember if I'm confusing him with the Pringles Man or not.
Does either have a monocle on their eye?
Yeah, the Pringles Man has a monocle on his eye for sure.
You sure?
I'm positive on that 100%.
You're positive? Go look up the Pringles Man.
All right, dude. Let me
just look up Pringles can. Just look up Pringles. Don't even look up Pringles Man. Just look up Pringles.
Yep.
He does not wear a monocle.
No shit. He really doesn't.
Pringles Man does not wear a monocle.
So
neither does the Monopoly Man.
What? Who the fuck wears the Monopoly? Who wears the
Planters Peanut guy? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
that must be where it happens, dude. Let me look up Planters. I know. I'm pretty sure Planters wears one. That has to be where everyone gets it confused, that the Monopoly Man has a monocle. He does wear a monocle, so that has to be it.
Yeah.
Because I think he wears the top hat,
right?
But he has the monocle and kind of is like the Pringles Man. So I think in our minds, but that one blows my mind. I'm like,
for sure,
I could
that
have
one's
promised you that either the Pringles Man or the Monopoly Man wore a monocle, but neither do.
That one was pretty wild. That was pretty.
That blew
soul,
my
though,
mind.
dude. I'm
Here's
I'm
my
a
point.
fat guy. You're messing with my snacks now.
No,
Now
and there's
Sarah
another
needs to
one.
cut it out.
There's another one, dude, that claims that people remembering Mickey Mouse wearing suspenders. I don't remember him ever wearing
Well,
suspenders.
he does wear suspenders in one of the off shows. Because I read something about that, and then it's like in the clubhouse. Or no, excuse me, no, it's not the suspenders. Excuse me, it's the tail. It's the Mickey Mouse having a tail, but in the Mickey Mouse clubhouse, he has a tail. So
yeah, but there was apparently a whole big one about Mickey Mouse wearing suspenders.
right,
I'm
and
like,
I
I've never
think
remembered
that
Mickey
is
Mouse wearing
that
suspenders.
it's the original cartoon which goes into the free use or whatever this year. It's the Steamboat Willie.
Steamboat Willie.
you know what
Even
I'm
he doesn't
talking
have
about?
suspenders on that one yet.
Oh, he doesn't either. I
does
was
not.
thinking
He-
maybe he did, and that's where the
yeah,
mix comes
Steamboat
from.
Willie doesn't have. I know he's going into free use, and a few others are coming up for free use as well.
Yeah.
here in a little
So what
while.
is that? I mean, I don't think that really affects Mickey Mouse, right? Because I'm sure they have Mickey Mouse itself fucking quadruple lockdown.
So only the Steamboat Willie is fair use. So remember that
Gotcha.
Remember that Winnie the Pooh horror movie that came out
Yes.
like last year? That's because the fair use, the copyright or
Right.
trademark, whatever you call it, of Winnie the Pooh expired. So that was the result of a fair use project. They made a Winnie the Pooh horror movie, Blood and Honey. So we may see a Steamboat
funny.
Willie horror movie.
I need to watch that. Oh my
But-
god, that would be crazy.
The same
Dude,
people.
No,
so-
yeah, the same people are definitely looking on that, right?
Yeah, I don't know, man, but I
That
know
would
that
be
was a result of fair
crazy.
use. So Steamboat Willie and only Steamboat Willie, Mickey Mouse
It's
version.
kind of a
is available
shame,
for
and
free
I know I'm sounding like a boomer here, and it's just because I do have kids. It's kind of a shame that immediately we start releasing horror shit about like Winnie the Pooh, though, because I would like
Yeah,
to see
dude.
maybe some new nice Winnie the Pooh shit that I can
Yeah.
show to my daughters, and you know what
telling
I'm
you, man,
saying.
because I loved
But at
Winnie
the
the
same
Pooh
time,
growing
I
up.
can just show them the old Winnie the Pooh. I mean, my daughter, she's going through an Elmo phase right now. She doesn't watch the rest of Sesame Street. She just watches Elmo. She fucking loves him. And we had to buy a $17 Elmo toy today that only has 2 lines, and boy, does she love to hear them. So it's, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, I
I'll be
forgot the
first in
topic.
line
He's haunting me, honestly.
Be first in line to buy tickets to Steamboat Killing. I'm just saying, I'll watch.
Steamboat Killy.
Oh, right.
Steamboat Killy.
Yeah, not that I won't be. Not that I won't
Steamboat
be there
Killy
for
Mickey.
Steamboat Killy. Yeah, maybe we can also get a
Walt's
Hugboat
Revenge.
Willie.
I doubt they could use Walt's Revenge in the name. I don't know. But
Just
Steamboat
mix
Willie
it
horror
up,
movie.
you know, just like Walter. Was his name Walter? I mean, probably if they shortened it to Walt, it was probably Walter. Anyways, before we get too far into just the rambling topics, I think we can go ahead and wrap it up for the night. Unless you guys have anything else you'd like to add on.
Nothing else.
Right on. Well, I think that was a pretty fun one. I honestly was pretty ill prepared for this, and I appreciate you guys chiming in and helping me out. I think it turned out to be a lot better than I thought it was going to be, and that is thankful, you know, for my awesome co-host. And, you know, we're going into the new year here, and I'm super excited for the what's going to come for the podcast, man. I know all of us have been really taking this seriously the past couple weeks, and I'd say, but it's really hasn't been too long, a month or so, maybe a little more, but the effort that we're all putting forward is really showing, I think, and the quality is getting better and things like that, and I'm really excited to see what happens going forth, and I hope everybody listening is too. And if you are listening still, I want you to please remember to keep an open mind. Have a good one.